Hey everybody, hope everybody is doing well today. Well, I haven't been making a lot of videos on YouTube because for the obvious reason, I post videos not making statements about questioning certain things I can't talk about, and then they take them down. It's almost as if and by the way, the video was filmed about 2 years ago. As if that the people who don't like my videos are constantly reporting me. That's exactly what's going on. And as a result, I've been uploading a lot of videos. Even videos I know very certain that they're not going to be censored or taken down. I've been putting it on Rumble. So if you guys are really interested, you can go to Rumble, Cyrus992, Cyrus992, and you'll get some updates about my videos. And hopefully, as my channel continues to grow, I might be able to get monetized simply because of the fact that, I haven't been able to get monetized on YouTube ever since. I tried to get it more than 10 years ago, and I was banned. I wasn't allowed to. It's just Google is such a messed up company. Folks, I just hope a lot of these companies, whether it's the Googles, the Anheuser-Busches of the world, the Goldman Sachs, the Pfizers of the world, they're going to be gone. They have to go. And even the ones out here, the Lennars, the KB Homes, the MGMs of the world, they all need to go. What are they doing for our society? What kind of value are we getting? Seriously, let's just think about that. It's an absolute joke. And things are getting very messed up. It's getting so messed up that we don't even have accountability. We don't even have, essentially, care. We don't have morals. We don't have good standards. We don't have good values like we used to. And we're seeing it more and more apparent as the year goes on. Look what's going on. Look at all the bills they're trying to push in the state legislature. Trying to change your gender as a child. Giving Medicaid to illegal aliens. We have to see if these bills get vetoed. I'm not going to count on it. We have to try to fight for it. And by the way, there is a town hall with the state legislatures and the county commissioner McCurdy this Saturday at 10:30. I'll post the link on my community. It's just one thing after another. You look at the tenant sector, people are just lacking accountability, even when they pay their rent. It's just so much fraud, scams, everything, one after another. You look at what they did to me in the library last year or so. People are just not having accountability, especially if you look at the under 40 crowd. Just look at them. They're not growing up. They're not taking responsibility. They're not willing to get anywhere in their lives. They're not willing to start family. I saw this one guy at the coffee bean. He looked like he was literally a baby, and he was like a grown-up man in his 20s. It's just absolutely disgusting. Jobs are not as stable as it used to be. You look at the indictment that's going on. Look where that's going in Manhattan. It's absolutely a joke. We are living in very uncertain times right now. The interest rates are going up. This whole economic system, financial system based on low interest rates is imploding. So many sectors that are depending on it are starting to go downhill. We're looking at banks that are in trouble. Now, of course, we just had a few. We'll have to see if this is going to be a tsunami anytime soon. I don't see it happening in this month or so. I think it will take a while. Look at the dollar. Every passing week, it's no longer becoming the world's reserve currency. Does that mean the economy is collapsing? We've seen this with other countries. It didn't happen. However, it can have a shock to our daily lifestyles. Not to mention, the question is, can we do the deficit spending? And not to mention, we're going to see a lot of problems that are going to linger. The long-term effects of the you-know-what, which they try to push to us about a year or so ago. I'm not going to talk about it. You pretty much get the idea. If I do, they're going to censor me. They're going to take this channel. One more strike, I'm done. Okay? I can't get to this situation. But I know that the way YouTube is, I really don't have any interest of uploading videos in the next several months or even ever again. I don't want to support this platform. I'm sick of you bastards. I'm sick of you scumbags. It's absolutely disgusting. And folks, I know what happened about Vegas recently when it comes to the Oakland A's are coming in. Folks, this shows desperation. This shows that they have to use sports and other things like pitch to international visitors and social media to get this area pumped up, because most of the things we get out here is overpriced and the service is going downhill. Now, I know there's some good shows and hotel specials, perhaps some food deals, especially if you're not in the Strip. It's a joke what's happened. And a lot of it is based on extra credit card spending. And there's going to be a time with this mass inflation, although it is cooling down, and I won't be surprised if it continues to get better, but it's still going to affect us in the years ahead with the supply chain issues for the obvious reasons you know. It's going to drag down the Vegas economy. There's no question about it. We're seeing home sales go down. We're seeing all these job losses. This is no accident. We're seeing every rumor that we're going to see escalating military tensions, war tensions, you name it. And with this situation, to really talk about the truth, I don't want to upload videos here anymore. And even when I do, I don't want to talk about certain subjects. And if you're out there spewing misinformation and try to censor this channel, up yours. All right? Because all you're doing is, if you're not debunking my facts, you're just proving me right. And by the way, if they do take this channel, I believe there's another site. I don't remember what it's called. It's called Odyssey. So they'll have my saved videos and everything you need to know. But I'm just giving you an update, folks. If you're tired of the fact that a lot of people are not uploading videos, if you want to get updates from me, go to my Rumble channel, CYRUS992. And frankly, some of these videos I'm getting about 50 views, and that's pretty much about the same views that I get in some of my videos here. So it's like, what's the point of me actually uploading on YouTube? Because a lot of people who have told me in the Murren conference is saying that you are being shadow banned. And now my channel is in jeopardy right now. It's absolutely disgusting. You guys are sick who is running these social media platforms, the mass media, all these corporations, these politicians. You're demons. You're sick. And you need to be held accountable. And you will. And I'm optimistic. You guys are going to be falling down like dominoes. The polls show it. The Consumer Reports show it. The viewership shows it. We are moving away. And we need to not only stand up, but figure out solutions on how to fight this system, on what kind of financial system we have to have, what kind of process we should do in terms of working with our money, what kind of companies we should support. Because you know what they're trying to do with our food supply. I don't want to get into that. Tom Rance has talked about it. Although, you got to understand that some of these people can get their calls wrong too. You just have to be aware. Absolutely disgusting. Come up with new solutions. We need to talk more about breaking up Clark County, because that's where the problem is. So many things in the Las Vegas Valley are so centralized. It's disgusting, folks. It's absolutely unbelievable. But anyway, I want to talk about where I am right now. I'm in the park right by Rainbow Library. And as you can see, the sun is starting to set down because you're not getting a lot of light. I was working on other stuff, so I kind of delayed the process. But the reason why I'm outside, it's a beautiful, beautiful 70 degrees outside. We had a high of 75 degrees. We had such a colder than normal winter. This winter kept continuing until like the early parts of April. And now we're getting some 70s weather, although some of those days have been interrupted by lots of wind. And then this will be the last 70s day until who knows when. Maybe in May. I checked the forecast. We're not having 70s in the next 10 days. And we're going to see lots of 80s, possibly 90s. We rarely get perfect weather days here in Las Vegas. I know, it's the way it is. Although our climate is not awful because there's other problems around the world, especially natural disasters. But nevertheless, we rarely have perfect weather days where we have a high temperature that's like in the 60s and 70s, and we have a low temperature that doesn't get below 50 degrees. It's the harsh truth, but that's just the way it is. I don't really control the nature. What do you guys think what's going on? This is just absolutely shocking. I'm getting very pissed off, but I'm actually pretty hopeful for the future because I know things are going to be looking pretty bright. Things have to correct. Look at what we are right now as a society, as a country, as a worldwide system. When you're in a computer and you're trying to press Control-Alt-Delete and it's not working, you got to unplug the system. Our culture, our social values is under attack. The culture that was dominated in America in the early 1960s, and I've talked about this many times before, they want to make sure that we're the farthest from that. And we are going to say no to this nonsense load of crap. It's disgusting, folks. All right, well, anyway, let's just take a walk along the park and why don't you guys get some lights to see what's going on. Got this beautiful sunlight, but you know, for the obvious reasons, they're putting all these chemicals and poisons in the air. I don't know why they do all these kinds of jets that are flying around, but you got some really beautiful sunsets here. So you could see I'm in the intersection of, I believe this is Durango or so, or Buffalo, excuse me. And then we are at this intersection, I believe it is Cheyenne. So the northwest section of the valley. This park has some decent crowds. You know, not so much of the unattractive crowds that you see in elsewhere in the valley. I mean, look at what's going on, man. You got this guy like Jacob's Life in Vegas. He's promoting this guy who blocked me on Twitter and of course ignores me. And I've approached him quite a few times, I believe. He's promoting the Strat Hotel. He's saying, yeah, it's a must stay. He probably got a kickback considering the fact that now that hotel, son of a gun, is charging for parking. Shame on them. Now, unlike all the other properties on the strip, well, you could always just, I don't know, park on the street. Although, good luck. God forbid something happens to your car. I mean, the chances are not that high, but you get the idea. All right, you guys got anything in your mind? I'm going to be wrapping it up very soon. So, yeah, you guys check out my BitChute, Rumble channel, CYRUS 992, Cyrus 992. You can kind of go out there, take a look, because I have to be talking about these controversial subjects. The truth's got to get out there. You know, for an example, there's some Republicans say I'm too extreme on the issues of race, but they have to learn the truth. We have to discuss about this, because if we don't, you know, if we keep going this path and we see all these problems get worse, it's probably going to be too late to fix the problem. My goodness, this is just sad, folks. You know, they're trying to censor our speech. Like, of course, they're not going to send officials or whoever to put charges on you, but they're going to try to push you around. And we know how this game plan works. We know exactly what the deal is. So, anyway, I'm not going to be uploading much on this channel, at least for several months, until these strikes or whatever go away. It's ridiculous, folks. It really is. You guys are working in Google and everything. You guys are a bunch of horrible, cold-hearted pieces of crap, losers. Why don't you get a job that's actually supposed to be contributing to society rather than pushing people around? Because here's the thing, when you keep censoring, not only this will wake up a lot of people, but the other thing is that a lot of other platforms that don't get censored will move over there. because the traffic is going there, and then they'll have to open shop at those other platforms. Because think of it this way, like, you know, if I'm going to be talking about other issues, like for an example, like when I talk about how the planning system, land use, transportation, architecture is so flawed. Look at all these, literally you've got these construction sites, and I don't know why they keep holding up this traffic. I think a lot of these contractors or whoever benefit from this nonsense. And you see the flaws in all this. Look at this. Now, do you think this is because of the policies they have, or maybe because of the planning? Because unfortunately, there is no alternative route to Buffalo. You know, there's no side street that you can take to get away from this nonsense. And of course, many of these traffic light intersections don't even really work. We have to start talking about this. The thing is, with YouTube pushing me around, and these topics I talk about, which are rarely even censored, to be honest, and who knows, they could do it. You know, anything that challenges the status quo, they don't like that. And with that all being mentioned, I'm going to divert other topics in the other channels. Because look, there was a time where if you made decent quality videos, you could be a star, like several years ago. Now you can't, because YouTube pushes you around. Well, guess what? YouTube is limiting my growth, is limiting my opportunity. Okay, and I'm not making a living for this. I mean, there's a reason why in our society, and I know there's good arguments about the resource-based economy, there's a reason why you have to give people money to reward behavior that contributes to society. That's what you got to do, right? Well, unfortunately, if I'm not earning anything from it, you know, there's not much incentive for me to actually do a pretty good job. Yeah, that's the unfortunate truth. It's very difficult to be a truth teller. Okay? And at least living out here, we're not as politically correct as other parts of the country, when you think about it. I mean, I don't think we're as free as some other states. But there's a lot of bad bills they're trying to push in. There's one bill they try to suppress our freedom of speech. That was sponsored by Senator Pat Spearman, who she's like the Lori Lightfoot or the Maxine Waters of the state. It's just disgusting, man. Really is. And I'll be honest with you, like, you guys, I mean, nowadays, they want to say if you are convicted of hate speech, that's the same Sandra Wardegi, whatever her name is, who claims she survived the Route 91 incident. I saw her with Eric Swalwell, the congressman from California. She now says, okay, if you are convicted of hate crime, which I think there's going to be so-called hate speech, so if I say something about my views, I may have limitations to a firearm. Now, I want you to think about it, folks. In many cities across the country, including this one, and this again goes back to what we keep talking about, things are too centralized here in Vegas. It takes forever for the police to show up. So I need to protect myself. I need to protect myself from robbers. I mean, right now, I see my car, but somebody could just come in and, you know, break in. And if they don't like what I mention, well, guess what? They're going to limit my access to a firearm. This is an absolute disgrace, folks. Think about it. All the other bills, you know, they're trying to give illegal aliens Medicaid. It's disgusting, folks. Now we got a border crisis. Somebody can just claim free crap, and we have all these other people that need health insurance. What about their interest? And then, of course, they say, well, you know, we get sick. Well, first of all, you can get emergency care. They had a buffet last week in Ventura. I'll take a look at that. You can get emergency care, and then, of course, they say, well, you know what? They work in our restaurants. They pick our crops. Well, first of all, have we seen any farms here in Vegas? You tell me. And two, we've got about 300,000 illegal aliens. here in Vegas? Are they all working in restaurants? No. He's spewing lies. And many of these politicians are related to illegal aliens. In fact, they're anchor babies. This was all planned. This was done in a course of decades. They're trying to, I'm not going to get to it because I can't go further with the subject. You get the damn idea what they're trying to do. And of course, we had a senator from state of California. He got elected to state senate in Nevada. And he talked about, well, California is losing a lot of wealthy people and corporations, and they're doing this. What about that? They can't answer. They just say, well, we got to have compassion. Bull. Compassion is not forcing me to pay for a foreign national's healthcare system. What stops from another millions of people coming in and raising our taxes? Folks, this is a problem. We're out here. The Nevada low tax climate is in conflict with the social justice crowd. And guess what, folks? It's going to go harmful. We don't have the Fortune 500 companies. We don't have the wealthy people to support the state. And we know these casino thugs, which are in bed with these phony labor unions, they're not going to want to pay more. We have the lowest gaming taxes in the state. We have regressive taxes, folks. And yeah, all sorts of people used to do that farm work. Those jobs that the restaurants used to do, they were done by young people. But now they don't have very little motivation. They hardly have any future. They're worrying about their identity for whatever stupid reason. And guess what? They could have been working those jobs. Why do you think it was so difficult for me in my late teens and early 20s to find work in any low-level job? Folks, this is just disturbing. This is disgusting. This is why, again, you are in this mess. And it's our job to fight back. Don't be a wuss. Have some balls. When you're fighting for your country, it's not just being deployed overseas. It's about taking to the streets. It's about talking to your neighbors. Yes, you could put your life at risk. But guess what? You have to do that because you better do it now, or what are you going to have left in the coming years? Think about it. Now, of course, you have to do it very carefully. I agree. Of course, you have to be strategic. But you still have to try, folks. You still do. Getting pretty ticked off at what's going on, man. Everything is so upside down. Everything is so like a clown show. It's ridiculous, folks. Lack of accountability. Give me a damn break. What do you guys else got to tell me? I'm going to wrap it up soon. Look at this nonsense construction and traffic. What a joke. See, and of course, yeah, they have to repair the roads. I applaud them for that. But maybe the system that we built is not meant to necessarily work too well in times of maintenance. Think about that. I testified this stuff in the legislature. You have to start thinking about nonpartisan solutions. This is just a fact. Yeah. All right, somebody just gave me a question. What I'm running for? I get that a lot. A lot of people say I should run for office. No, folks. I came here to build, create new neighborhoods, and with these new neighborhoods, they're going to be separate cities and counties, and that is going to compete with the status quo. That's how you fight back, because Clark County is a monopoly, and we're going to have alternatives to land use, transportation, architecture, so forth. Yeah. Just look at the way things are, man. All right, everybody. I'll see you guys soon. Yeah, I get that a lot. I should run for something. I don't know. There's better things to do.